Good afternoon, everyone. Doubleheader Thursday. Well, not really. One game Thursday, the second game Friday. The song stuck in my head today is 8 Days on the Road, the Foghat version. Did they write that, or was that a cover version? I kind of think it was a cover version for some reason, but to be honest, I do not know. Anyway, this is what we call this a Franklin special, among other things. The doubleheader is the Baltimore Orioles at the Boston Red Sox. The third game of a 4-game set, first game of a twin bill. The Orioles won the first 2 games of this series, and they'll send Dave McNally to the mound today against Lee Stang of Boston. Hello, Blaine, welcome. Hello, Jeffrey, welcome in. It's been a while, Jeffrey, how you doing? How's your gaming going, Blaine? And welcoming in Michael. It's been a while, Michael. And somehow you still get a number 3 crown. I don't know how you pull that off, but congratulations. I'm being facetious, of course. I don't even know what these crowns mean. Oh, my. I had my vaccinations today. And Bill's here for the O's. That's good, Jeff. Good to hear it. You still taking care of the dog and the cat? Hello there, Kathy. Blaine's setting it up to roll as we speak. I used to say that at work. I'm on it as we speak. Just the cat, not taking care of the dog anymore. Cats are easier, don't you think? I do. That's why I have cats. They're a lot easier to take care of. I got a frog in my throat again. That figures. Okay, game stats. McNally having a good season for the Orioles. 6-3, 2.93. 12 starts. He's made 12 starts, 5 complete games, including a shutout. 95 1/3 innings. And Stang making just his second start for Boston. He's, Stang is 0-2 for the Red Sox, 4.91. Stang, of course, has pitched for 2 teams. His overall numbers 1-2, 3.64 in just 30 innings of work. Orioles are in first place, 42-20. Boston 26-35. Hello, Unmitigated. And our Schaefer beer batter today, someone who led the majors in strikeouts. Okay. Canigliaro. Here he comes. Speaking of cats. You can't have those dice. What are you doing? Huh? No, you can't have that. Come here. Whoops, he gaffled me. Oh my goodness. Oh, it's Mike C. That makes sense. I was thinking of the other Michael, the one who's the big fan of Woody Woodward and Mike Ryan. He'd be delighted to know that Mike Ryan is not in the lineup for the Red Sox, at least in the first game, but here's the lineup for the Orioles. Luis Aparicio leads off at short. Russ Snyder is in center. Frank Robinson in right field hits third. This is the most consistent lineup in the majors this year. How do I know? Well, because the Cards are in the same order I left them in. They rarely change their lineup. Brooks Robinson hits cleanup at third base, Boog Powell at first, Kurt Bleffery in left, Davey Johnson at second base, Andy Etchebarren to do the catching, and McNally, the pitcher, hitting ninth. Yeah, 8 Days on the Road by Foghat. Here's my question for all you music buffs. Did they write that song or was it a cover? Hello, Colin Merritt. Or Where They Sit, for that matter. Dumpster diving cats. We got one of those here in the apartment complex. I call it Spaz. Because it has really weird facial markings. Hello, Ernest. Well, they're just pouring in here today. Hello, everybody. I hope I didn't miss anyone. The umpires for today's game, Bill Valentine calls the balls and strikes. Old friend Nestor Shylock at first. Cal Drummond is at second, and Hank Soar down at third. See, Frank struck out a lot. Looking at my replay stats so far, it is not clear to me who led the league in strikeouts. Yeah, that was 6 days on the road. And welcome in E Rose 964. I'll just call you Rose to make it simpler. Welcome, one and all. A good crowd on hand at the beginning of the game. Okay, I've got my coffee. Stang's ready to go to work. Valentine says play ball, and here's Aparicio. I like the 6 days on the road, too. I like the Taj Mahal version of that. And I'm laughing at Colin's comment. I imagine they're all printed on the same paper. I know Jeffrey had a dead ball set. Okay, let's get started here. Aparicio, 254, 2 homers, 31 RBI. It's pretty good out of the leadoff spot. Stang gets his sign. And on a 111 right-handed, he pops him up right side. Smith makes the catch, and we are underway. That's all you need. I have a need for weed. Russ Snyder, 218, no home runs. The right-hander deals a 111 grounder down to third base, fielded by Joe Foy, who throws him out. And Lee Stang records 2 quick outs here in the first inning. Here's Frank Robinson now. Through 290 average. Robinson's average dropping lately. Still 18 home runs and 47 RBIs among the league leaders, but Robinson's going to need to get that batting average up if he's going to have a shot at repeating his real-life Triple Crown performance. And Ben Witz is here. So the only one conspicuously missing is our resident huge Oriole fan, Franklin Long, who last I heard could not see because of the dilation drops. He went and got his eyes checked. I would think that, of course, is worn off by now. Staying into the windup, that's a 4-7 righty, and he walks Robinson. A 2-out walk to Frank Robinson. Let's check his speed now. Not a star stealer, but staying with a terrible +5 hold. Tillman with a +3 arm. So Robinson at 18 is going to have to be held on at 16. He needs a 5 or a 6 for it. He's going to roll for it. 5, he's got it. 5, 8, 6, 1 to 16. There he goes. Tillman's throw. He's stolen it. So a stolen base for Frank Robinson. That's his second steal against 2 caught stealing. He doesn't run often, only against the most horrible combinations. Here's Brooks now, hitting .287, 7 home runs, 43 RBIs. On deck, the Boog. Stang's pitch is a 4-10 right-handed fly to center field X. Thomas on his horse, 2E11. There's the play on a 17. He makes a nice running catch to retire the side. So a nice play in center by George Thomas for Orioles. No runs, no hits, a man left on. And after half an inning of play, it's Baltimore 0, Boston coming to bat. Yeah, I hear you, Jeff. I love watching on the big screen. And for so long, I didn't know how to join the chat on the big screen. But yes, exactly the way you're doing it. You just turn down the sound on the phone. Otherwise, that'll drive you nuts. Since they're not quite synced up. It's a brain melter. Boston's lineup: Rico Petrocelli at shortstop, Joe Foy down at third, Carl Yastrzemski, our hot batter of the day, in left field batting third. Tony Conigliaro is in right field. George Scott at first base. Still waiting for Unmitigated to tell me who the beer batter is. George Thomas in center. George Smith at second base. Bob Tillman is the catcher. And Stang hits ninth. It's Scott. Okay. I was thinking maybe Conigliaro. Now I have to look. 152 strikeouts. I tell you, in my replay, if he keeps playing, Byron Brown of the Cubs is going to blow everybody away. But you know what? Maybe Brown wasn't a full-time player. You know what? Before we get started, whoops, I didn't mean to click that. Technical issues. I want to see who leads in strikeouts in the American League right now. It's Bobby Knopp, 64, Tresh, 56, Tommy Agee, 53, George Scott, 51. In the National League, Brown, 65. Well, Knopp's very close to Brown, actually. I didn't know that. Clendenin, 58, Stargell, 54, Dave Nicholson, 51. Several tied with 50. Well, thank you, Jeff. I appreciate that. Here's Petrocelli to start it off. Rico hitting .268, 6 home runs, 21 RBIs. The left-hander into the windup. That's a 2-9 left-handed, and that is a strikeout. Called strike 3. Valentine rings him up. And here's the third baseman, Joe Foy. Foy at 265, 9 home runs, 21 RBIs. Thank you, Bill, for the update on Brown. Yeah, so he didn't play every day. I've always hated my writing, so it really makes me feel good to hear that, you guys. You definitely don't want to see my cursive. Of course, they don't even teach that anymore, do they? We don't need that anymore. I digress. Here's the picture for 2-5 left-handed. He draws the walk. Foy, no threat to run. McNally with a good hold. And here's Yaz. Over the last 10 days, Yastrzemski's batted .370 with 4 home runs and 9 RBIs. On the season as a whole, he leads the team in hitting at .294, 11 home runs, 33 RBIs. Left-on-left matchup for McNally. From the stretch, it's a 6-5 grounder to short X. This should be 2 with Aparicio there, a 118. Here is the play on an 18, and it sure is. Aparicio steps on the bag, throws to first. 6-3 double play. And that'll do it for the Red Sox. And we are scoreless after an inning. Well, I nicked my setup from Jeffrey. When I was starting out to do this, I was looking at everybody. And the thing I loved about Jeffrey's presentation was you could see the whole score sheet on the dice roll and read the cards. Top of the third, Kathy has a question. I'll make a note of that here. 6 degrees of separation. That sounds interesting. Well, thanks, man. Oh, yeah, no, I don't even want to go there. Yeah, I noticed that too, Rick. I'm sorry, Bill. It's definitely more outdated than vinyl because I still do vinyl. Okay, here's Powell. He leads the club at hitting. .332 average for Powell. 16 home runs, 41 RBIs, staying into the windup. It is a 6'10 left-handed. Hard smash to third. Tough chance for Foy, a 425. Here's the play on a 20. He's got it. Throws across in time. Helped to have Powell running there, but still a fine play by Foy nonetheless. And here's Kurt Blefary. Blefary 271, 13 homers, 39 RBIs. I tip my cap, Ernest. That's exactly what I say. My signature, if you can call it that. More like a scribble. Are you using the voice text on your phone? Yeah. It gets weird sometimes, but I like it. Stang's pitch on a 6-11 lefty. Blefary, a hard ground ball through the right side for a base hit. A 1-out single for Blefary, first hit of the ball game. And here's Davey Johnson. Johnson at 267, just 3 homers but 33 RBIs, staying out of the stretch. 5-4 right-handed, high pop fly to shallow left. Yastrzemski coming on in a hurry. He's there. That'll bring up the catcher, Andy Etchebarren. Andy hitting .271, 6 homers, 23 RBIs. Both of these teams with good power. From the stretch, it's a 3-9. Struck him out. And that'll wrap up the top of the first for the Orioles. No runs, a hit, one left, and we're still scoreless. Look, kids, Big Ben, Parliament. I agree, Jeff. I can't see any other way to do it. Bottom of the second, here's Tony C. Tony Conigliaro hitting .241, 10 home runs, 37 RBIs. McNally gets the sign from Etchebarren. The pitch is a 3-5 left-handed. It's a high fly ball to deep left field. Back goes Bluffer at the track, at the wall. It's off the wall, rolling away from him. Conigliaro round second, digging for third. The throw, he is in there with a leadoff triple. I've got to look at this now. Wow, that's his 5th triple. I wouldn't have guessed that. He had 7 in real life, so I guess I shouldn't be that surprised. And here's our beer batter, George Scott. Scott hitting, where is Scott? .240. Leads the club in homers with 14. Second to Conigliaro in RBIs with 35. With nobody out early in the game, we're rolling for inner back. They will pull it in for Scott. And here's the pitch from McNally. It's going to be a 5-7 righty. Swung on and missed. Strike 3. Big strikeout for McNally. Infield will remain in for George Thomas. Thomas hitting just .212, 4 home runs, 10 RBIs. That's right. Chug 'em if you got 'em. The beer batter just struck out. What is Mookie doing? What do you got there? Oh, that's all right. You can have that. Infield in, the pitch to Thomas, 3-7, and he walks him. This changes things entirely. Runners at the corners, George Smith, the hitter. Take a look at Smith's card here. What do we got there? 3, 7, 13, 17. That's enough. They're going to play for the double play. Infield back, 1 away. McNally trying to coax a ground ball out of George Smith, who comes in hitting .239, 5 homers, 22 RBIs. The pitch on a 4-7. He walks him to load the bases. And that's going to send Etchebarren out for an early mound visit as McNally has loaded the bases with 1 out. Catcher Bob Tillman due up. So 3 walks already by McNally. Very atypical for the left-hander. Tillman, the catcher, hitting .271, 1 home run, 12 RBIs. Infield back. McNally full windup. 2-5. That's going to plate at least 2. Base it into left center. That's a 2-star single. Scoring is Conigliaro. Thomas coming in right behind him. Smith to third. And it's a 2-run single by Bob Tillman. The Red Sox jump out to a 2-0 lead. Still 1 out, runners at the corners, and Lee Stang is the hitter. He's a B bunter. They're going to pull it in. He's going to swing away. 3-6 left-handed. Ground ball to short. Infield in. I got to check that. That gets the batter, and the runner at first advances to second. So the infield in deprives the Orioles of the double play. Ernest for the Sox. Here's Petroselli, runners at second and third, 2 outs. McNally gets the sign. The windup and the pitch is a 4-5 righty. High fly ball to left field. Can of corn for Bleffery. And that'll do it. But Boston plates 2 on 2 hits and leaves a pair. And the Red Sox lead it 2-0 after 2. And now we turn our attention to Kathy Harden for the trivia question, the third inning trivia question today. Separation, 6 degrees of separation. Oh, this is going to be hard. I can see that already. Here's the question. What is the connection between Gordon Lightfoot and John Belushi? I say it's advanced, Jeff, because the only thing I do super advanced is stealing and ground ball result chart. Bill, is that your answer? And it's right. Oh, I don't believe it. I thought you were kidding around. Was it the same girlfriend? Man, I learn something here every day. Oh, wow. Is that what happened, Kathy? I've been misinformed all these years. I had a couple of wacky ones. And, you know, I can admit that that's my fault. Okay? If you have more than one, odds are you are either attracting or attracted to the wrong kind of woman. Third inning, McNally will start it off. He's a right-handed hitter. Stang gets his sign. Pitches a 3-9 righty, grounder to first base. Scott will take it himself. And it's an easy out for Stang. Here's the leadoff man, Aparicio. Stang into the windup on a 3-10 right-handed, grounder down to third. That's going to be Foy to Scott. 2 quick outs in the third. And here's Russ Snyder, 0 for 1. The pitch from Lee Stang. 4-12 left-handed, towering fly ball to right. Canigliaro backing up and puts it away. And 1-2-3 go the Orioles in the third. Well, my definition would have to be pretty damn wacky because I'm crazy myself. So for me to call someone wacky, you know, by relative comparison, it's a reach. That is probably my favorite Gordon Lightfoot song. Foy will lead off the bottom of the inning. He walked in the first. McNally gets his sign. The windup and the pitch, a 5-7 righty. Swung on and missed. Strike 3. Third strikeout for McNally to balance out the 3 walks. And here's Yaz. The pitch on a 3-7 left-handed. High fly ball to right left-handed. High fly ball to right field. Frank Robinson glides over to it and makes the catch. Here's Conigliaro now, tripled and scored in the second. The windup and the pitch. It's a 6-3 right-handed. Fly ball to left X. That's going to be a tough chance for Blefary, a 4-E7. Ranging towards the gap on a 2. He's not going to get there. That's going to roll to the wall. Conigliaro in standing with a 2-out double. And now we're on cycle watch for Tony Conigliaro with a triple and a double. Still yet to have a cycle. Maybe today's the day. I don't think I've heard that one, Bill. I'll have to look that up. Band in Detroit. Well, I definitely have to listen to that. Hang on, I got to add that to my notes. Because with my short-term memory, by the time this game is over, I will not remember that at all. Okay, note has been made. Runner in scoring position with 2 down. Top of the 5th, quick question coming up from Jeffrey. McNally pitching to George Scott. Here it is on a 6-5 right-handed grounder shortstop X. That's the Gold Glover Aparicio. 118 ranges behind the bag on a 12. Error range 7 on an 18. He's got it. Awesome play by Aparicio to end the inning. So no runs, a hit, 1 left for the Red Sox. After 3 innings of play, it's 2-0 Boston. May just be a lunatic you're looking for. If so, you've come to the right channel. Heart of the order for Baltimore. Here's Big Frank, walked and stole second in the first. Stang gets the sign from Tillman, and here's the pitch on a 4-3 right-handed. Grounder first base X. Scott a 315, here's the play. On a 14 error range, it's a 7 on a 15. This could be trouble, and it is. It's off of his glove. That's going to be an error on George Scott. Frank Robinson will reach. First error of the game. Let's try that again with Robinson. 18 held on at 16. He needs a 5 or a 6. 3, doesn't get it. Next pitch to Brooks. 5-9 right-handed, swung on and missed, strike 3. Second K for Stang. Up steps the Boog. Kurt Blefary to follow. Robinson takes his lead. Stang a glance over there. Now comes to the plate 2-4, and he loses in ball 4. So the walk to Pal, Frank Robinson to second, and the tying runs are aboard and 1 out here in the 4th. Kurt Blefary, the hitter, he singled his first time up. Stang studying the signs. Now the full windup and the pitch. It's a 1-5 right-handed, and he walks him to load him up. So a similar situation to McNally's second inning. And Tillman's going out for a short mound visit. Bases loaded, 1 down. Davey Johnson, the hitter, Andy Etchebarren on deck. Infield at double play depth. Orioles lead at 2-0, but Stang is in a jam here in the 4th. The windup and the pitch on a 1-9 struck him out. Called strike 3, and Davey Johnson does not like it. It'll be up to Etchebarren. Runners will be off on the pitch. Here it is on a 4-3 grounder first base X. Scott with a chance to redeem himself. 3-15. Here's the play on an 8, a 4 on a 50, and it's another error on Scott, his second of the inning, and that will allow a run to score. Oh my. Frank Robinson crosses the plate. Powell to third, Blefary to second. 2-1 Boston, and fortunately for Stang, McNally is the hitter. Throws left, bats right. That's right, man. Yeah, he's practicing. Tillman out to the mound again. Stang visibly upset. Tillman trying to calm him down. Stang thinking to himself, I didn't have these problems with Cleveland. The pitch to McNally, a right-handed hitter. It's a 6-6, and that's going to score 2 runs. Double to 8. That's going to be a 2-star single for Dave McNally. Can you believe it? That plates Powell and Blefary. To third goes Echeverry. And Dave McNally just gives himself the lead with a 2-run single. It's 3-2 Orioles. And blame it on the Bossa Nova? No, sir. Blame it on George Scott. Here's Aparicio. You're killing me, unmedicated. Stang with the pitch. It's a 6-8 righty. Pops him up. Petrocelli will take it. And mercifully for Stang, the inning comes to an end. But 3 runs score. All 3 unearned as far as Stang is concerned. 3 runs on only 1 hit. And the Orioles take a 3-2 lead to the bottom of the inning. I remember McNally's slam. I also remember McNally's no-hitter for Jeffrey. McNally on the hill. George Thomas will lead off the bottom of the 4th. Thomas walked his first time up. McNally into the windup now. The pitch on a 3-4 lefty. He pops him up. Aparicio will take it. Here's George Smith, who also walked in the 2nd inning. The windup and the pitch to McNally's a 6-3 righty. Fly to left field next. Another tough chance for Blefary. 4-7. Blefary sprinting towards the line on an 8. E-range. 6 on a 7. 2-base error on Blefary. Did you guys forget your gloves today? 1 out. Smith at 2nd, and here's Tillman. Tillman drove in both of the Boston runs with a single in the 2nd. Yeah, exactly, Jeff. My sentiments exactly. McNally checks the runner. The pitch to Tillman on a 5-10 righty. Pop fly to shallow left. Blefary coming on. He's there. And Blefary gets to that one. And Smith has to hold at 2nd. And here's Stang with 2 down, a right-handed hitter. The pitch on a 3-5. Ground ball to short, routine for Aparicio. Fires it over to Boog Powell, and that's the inning. No runs, no hits, a man left. That's a good choice, unmitigated. I can't argue with that. Don Gullett. You know, Don Gullett was about as talented as any left-hander I saw. Injuries kind of messed up his career. But when he was healthy, he was about as good as anybody. So many errors, so little beer. Well, don't worry, they'll make more. Russ Snyder to lead off the fifth. Stang gets the sign. Here's the windup down the pitch. That's a 4-3 left-handed. Grounder first base X. Scott yet again. 3E15. Here we go. On a 20. He's got it. Feed Stang covering. Nice play by George Scott. Was there a little sarcasm in there? I didn't mean for there to be. Here's Big Frank now. Stang with the pitch. It's going to be a 4-3 righty. Grounder first base X. Wow. 3-15 again. George Scott. Here's the play on a 5. He's got it. Throws to Stang covering. Four X plays to first base. Quite rare. 2 down. Here's Robinson. Stang's pitch on a 4-8. Swung on him. Missed strike 3. And it's a clean inning for Stang. Halfway home in a 3-2 ball game. I love the Babe Ruth line about when they asked him or told him, you know, you made more than the president. He said, why not? I had a better year. There was a story I was thinking of, and now something in the chat reminded me of it. And now I can't think of it. That figures. That's par for the course. Boy, that would almost be an understatement, wouldn't it? Oh, we missed the question. Top of the 5th. I'm sorry. Jeffrey, you had a trivia question. Probably so did the guy on the bench making $2,000. Do you still have a question for us, Jeffrey, or did I miss it? Here it is. Name a former Major League Baseball player who also plays trumpet. That would have to be Carmen Fanzone. Normally I don't answer, but throw in musical instruments on me and I can't resist. Top of the order for the Red Sox. Here's Petrocelli. McNally into the windup. 3-5 left-handed. He pops him up left side. Aparicio will take it. One shortstop pops out to another. He played the national anthem once. I remember that. Or at least the game I was watching. He may have done it more than once, for all I know. It was at Wrigley, yeah. Here's Foy 0 for 1 with a walk. McNally with the windup and the pitch. It's a 5-7 righty. Swung on and missed, strike 3. Foy down on strikes for the second time. And here's Yaz. McNally with the windup and the pitch to Yastrzemski. It's a 2-10 pop-up right side. Boog Powell make the catch. And it's a 1-2-3 inning for McNally. We played 5. It's 3-2 Orioles. And with that, Joe Boo needs a refill. Yeah, I'm laughing at Mookie. I was cleaning out my desk, okay, and I threw this on the floor because I don't use this kind of cord anymore. But he managed to get this open and get it that far out. Now he's up in the cheap seats. McNally 7 for endurance. Stang, almost surprisingly to me, is rated 8 for starter endurance. He'll be facing Powell, Blefary, and Johnson as we move to the 6th inning. Powell 0 for 1 with a walk. Stang gets the sign from Tillman. The pitch to Boog is a 2-7 righty. Gets a grounder to second. Single to 2. That is fielded by Smith, who throws him out. Blefary singled and walked so far. That's pretty cool. I didn't know he sang. Stang with the windup. The pitch is a 6-6 left-handed, and that's lined into right field for a single, and Blefary has been on all 3 times today. Catcher's plus, so 518, but he's not a star. He will not be held. You don't dare try for the lead with that. And here's Davy Johnson. 1 down, runner at first. Stang from the stretch. Comes in with a 3-10 right-handed. High fly ball to left. Yastrzemski glides over to it and puts it away. Yastrzemski making it look easy out there. Now with 2 outs, Andy Etchebarren is the batter. Stang checks the runner. Comes to the plate 4-9 right-handed. That's going to be a base hit to 18. Liner to third, into left field. Stopping at second is Blefary. Yaz playing shallow. Cuts it off quickly. And Blefary will hold. 6th inning, that brings up McNally. He will hit. He's a right-handed hitter. Hang on a second. I've got the wrong hitter's card for McNally. It's supposed to be a 3. Stang pitch to McNally on a 6-9 right-handed. Routine fly to right. Canigliaro waiting and makes the catch to retire the side. No runs, 2 hits, a pair left. Another good game today, fellas. 3-2 in the bottom of the 6th. Anybody seen Franklin Long? Franklin never misses a Baltimore doubleheader when he's at home. Kind of like the guy with the second cup of coffee. Boston comes to bat in the bottom of the 6th. Canigliaro with a triple and a double so far will lead things off. McNally gets the sign. Here's the windup and the pitch. It's a 4-4 right-handed fly center field X. Tough chance for Snyder. Snyder a 3E6 on his horse. Here's the play on a 14. He makes a nice running catch, and Canigliaro is retired. Yeah, hopefully that didn't affect anything, Ben. But if the pitcher's hitting card, I'm not going to worry too much about it. I'm almost positive that single came off of the pitcher's card. Here's Scott, 0 for 2, and 2 for 2 on the X chart. Excuse me, 2 for 4, I should say, on the X chart. The windup and the pitch. 4-6, swung on and missed, strike 3, and Scott fans for the second time today. So Scott's having a rough day. Drink him if you got him. The beer batter has struck out. Here's George Thomas now. McNally's pitch is a 2-5 lefty. Struck him out. McNally now has retired 8 in a row. And his team ahead 3-2 after 6. Oh my goodness, Ben. Talk about absurdity. Although I have to say that will never affect me because I don't use cash for anything. That isn't totally true. It's 99% true. But I do have a box of change, so I must have got it somewhere. Mookie likes to play with that too. Usually at night after I've gone to sleep, I'll come in the morning to start the coffee and there's a couple of nickels and a dime on the kitchen floor. As far as I know, he hasn't tried to eat one. Unlike Peter Nickel Eater in It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia. Yeah, I don't know about that one. I've been saying for years they should get rid of the penny for the simple reason that it costs more to produce than it's worth. Well, not giving you the correct change is certainly fraud. Close game, top of the 7th, top of the order for the Orioles. Staying into the windup. Pitch to Aparicio is a 2-4, and he draws the walk. Speed on the bases. 20 held at 18. Russ Snyder steps to the plate. Aparicio's rolling for the lead. 2 through 5, 11 or 12. 4, he's got it. 1 to 18, there he goes. Tillman's throw down, he's stolen it. So just the second baseman off of Tillman today. You'd think with that battery there would be more. For Aparicio, that is his 7th steal of the season. He's yet to be caught. A nickel for your thoughts, unmitigated? Welcoming Captain Carl into the chat. Next time they do that, Ben, say, will you take a check? I'm thinking of the Big Lebowski where he writes a check for 69 cents, of course. Okay, we have action in the Boston pen. Timeout here. It's a mound visit by Tillman. And I'm going to take a look at the Boston pen here, which I should have done before the game. Dennis Bennett will be the left-hander. Bucky Brandon, the right-hander, throwing in the Red Sox pen. Russ Snyder is the hitter. Meeting on the mound is broken up. Stang pitching to Russ Snyder, who's 0 for 3. Stang checks the runner. Now comes to the plate, 6-11. That's a base hit into right field. Aparicio could score on that. 16. Canigliaro a 0. They're going to send him. And Boston's going to cut that off. That's going to be an RBI single for Snyder. They'll cut it off and keep Snyder at first, keeping the double play in order. Snyder, an 18 not held. What the heck? He's going to roll for it. He needs a 4. And he gets the 4. 1-18. There goes Snyder's. And he steals it. How about that? A rare stolen base for Snyder. I got to look this up now. That's his first stolen base of the season. I'm not surprised. 4-2 Orioles. And here's the next pitch to Frank Robinson. That's going to be a 1-5 right-handed towering blast to left field. Yes, back, gone. Home run, Frank Robinson. Oh, man, and Herman left Stang in a little too long. And just like that, it is 6-2 Baltimore. A 2-run homer by Frank Robinson. For Big Frank, that is his 19th home run of the season. And now here comes Herman. That's going to do it for Stang. We'll look for a possible double switch here. Right, left coming on. They're going to go to Bennett, the left-hander. And they'll do a double switch in center. Jose Tardable will come on and play center. He'll go to the 9 spot. (2E2 + 1). And pitcher goes in the 8 spot. That was Thomas's spot. And as Bennett gets loose, let's take a look at his numbers. Bennett 4-1, 5.32. Six to 2 Orioles here in the top of the 7th. I thought about pulling him there, Ben. But then in my mind, I'm thinking, I thought about it after the steal. And then I thought, well, he's already made at least one pitch to Frank Robinson, right? Or there wouldn't be a steal. So let him finish the at-bat. Okay, Bennett comes in with nobody out, nobody on, pitching to Brooks Robinson. Here is the pitch. It's a 3-9 left-handed, and that's ripped into the left center gap. Triple to 6. It'll be a long single for Brooks Robinson. And the Orioles coming alive here in the 7th inning. Can't keep a good team down. And here's the Boog. laughing at Ben's Puckett story now. That's right. Tomorrow's already the hell far out, man. Bennett's pitch to Boone Powell. It's a 4-3 lefty. It's a fly to right field X. Tough chance for Canigliaro. 3-E-8. He's on his way. It is a 16, and he will make the catch. Tagging up and taking second is Brooks Robinson. So on a deep fly ball, Brooks Robinson alertly tags up and moves into scoring position. Here's Bleffery now. That's a 4-5, grounder to second base. Smith has the play, throws him out as Brooks moves over to third. It'll be up to Davy Johnson, 2 down. Bennett, a glance at third. Comes to the plate, 3-6. Liner to second, single to 9. That's an RBI single for Johnson. And the Orioles continue to add on here in the 7th. Brooks Robinson crosses the plate to make the score 7-2. And you can just about put this one to bed. Here's Andy Etchebarren. On a 3-8 left-handed, struck him out. That ends the inning, but the Orioles score 4 on 4 hits and leave 1. As we go to stretch, it's 7-2 Orioles. Oh, Bill had a question I missed. Hang on. Did anybody get it? I can't find it. When we come back, first endurance inning for Dave McNally. Take a short Mookie break here. No surprises. He's already done thrashing the phone cord. Got that out of his system. Now it's back to his nap. Mookie. You're done now, huh? That was it? Huh? That was it for you? Yeah. He's not budging today. Wait, maybe he is. Just enough to change positions, I guess. What day is this? Thursday, right? The mutterings of a retiree with age-appropriate short-term memory. That might be a good title for a book. Or at least a treatment. Okay. There you go, Jeff. Exactly. This is one reason why I'm wearing my hearing aids religiously now. I was sufficiently scolded on Monday. Bottom third for Boston as we come back to the game. Bottom of the seventh, they trail by 5. McNally, his first endurance inning. Smith walked and reached on an error. The pitch from McNally was a 2-2 lefty, base hit into left field. And the leadoff man is on. Here's Tillman now. Tillman 1 for 2. McNally out of the stretch. That's going to be a 4-6 right-handed. Swung on and missed. Strike 3. Down goes Tillman. The batter will be Jose Tartabull. Tartabull on the year hitting .362. Not enough at bats to qualify. If he did, he'd be leading the league. No homers, 23 RBIs. The pitch is a 6-4 grounder to shortstop X. This should be 2. With Aparicio, a 118. Here's the play. On a 9, error range, it's 11. On an 18, this could be close. Nope. Aparicio gloves it, flips it to Johnson, on to Powell. 6-4-3, double play. And that wraps up the 7th inning. So the gold glove of Aparicio strikes again. 7 in the books. It's 7-2 Orioles. Here's the question. This scout signed Mudcat Grant for the Indians in the 1950s. He was a big part of the famous game pre-Babe Ruth era. A famous game. Name this scout player. A famous game in the pre-Ruth era. That's intriguing in itself, although I don't have an answer. Famous game. Was it one of the Black Sox? Hey, I just saw they're doing a Field of Dreams game next year in MLB. Fred Merkle is correct, the Merkle boner. I bet everybody's read about that. Bennett coming out for his second inning of work. McNally will lead it off. Right-handed hitter. The pitch on a 1-9. McNally with a base hit, his second hit of the day. Here's Aparicio. Bennett from the stretch. 6-2 righty. Fly ball left field X. That's the Gold Glover Yastrzemski out there. 1E6. Yaz on his horse. Error range. 8 on a 6. He makes a fine running catch for the out. Back to the bag is McNally. Outstanding play by Yastrzemski. That might be the play of the game. We're going to call that a web gem. Here's Snyder now. Bucky Brandon ready in the Boston pen. You'd have to assume if Bennett doesn't retire Snyder, he will not be facing the Robinsons. The pitch to Snyder on a 4-8, swung on and missed, strike 3. With 2 down and a man on first, Bennett will pitch to Frank Robinson. Robinson homered his last time up, chasing Stang from the game. Bennett from the stretch. The pitch to Frank, 5'8" righty. Grounder, second base X. That's Smith, 228 to his left. Here's the play. On an 8, error rate. It's a 7 on a 28, and that is going to be an error on Smith. So an error-filled game, E4. Third Red Sox error. And here's Brooks Robinson with Powell looming on deck. They're going to stick with Bennett as he comes into Brooks Robinson with a 2-9 lefty. Struck him out. Sorry, 2-9 lefty, grounder to second. Smith to Scott, that's the inning. No runs, a hit, 2 left. Thank you, Al, I have not. Interesting, Bill. That makes sense. Yeah, that was a topic of discussion just yesterday, wasn't it? Back when they only had one umpire. Second endurance inning for McNally. He's got a little extra leeway pitching with a 5-run lead, and it's the top of the Boston batting order as we go to the bottom of the 8th. Petrocelli 0 for 3 today. McNally the windup. 5-4 righty, that's catcher's card. That'll be Echeverria. 2E6. There's the play on a 15. That is a foul out to the catcher. Here's Foy now. Foy 0 for 2 with a walk. Struck out twice. McNally with the pitch. 6'9" right-handed. He lifts it the other way to right field. Frank Robinson gliding under it. 2 down. And here's Yastrzemski. The pitch from McNally is a 4-9. Base hit into left field. Yaz takes it the other way. So Yaz avoids the collar in this one, and that'll get Tony C to the plate. On deck is the beer batter. McNally to Canigliaro. It's a 4-8 right-handed. Grounder to third base. Single on a 3. Just misses it. Diving stop by Brooks Robinson, who throws him out. What a play by Brooks to rob Canigliaro of a single. Man, it's about all over but the crying for Boston. 7-2 as we go to the 9th. I want to thank everybody for watching. Tomorrow we're going to have the second game of this doubleheader at the regular time. Powell, Bleffery, Johnson. Bennett in his first endurance inning facing Boog Powell on a 4-4. He pops it up to shallow right. Canigliaro comes in, still coming, and just does get there to make the catch. The batter will be Bleffery. 2 for 3 with a walk. Bennett into the windup. 6'8 left-handed. It's a high fly ball the other way to left field. Yaz back and makes the catch. Home run on a 1 only. 2 down. Here's Davy Johnson. The pitch from Bennett is a 6'8 right-handed. Routine grounder to short. Petrocelli over to Scott. And we're going to the bottom of the 9th. McNally trying for the complete game, up 7-2. It'll be Scott, a pinch hitter, and Smith. Thank you, Jeff. Scott 0 for 3, struck out twice. McNally gets the sign from Echeverria. Here's the windup. Here's the pitch on a 1-9. Struck him out, and it's the hat trick for the beer batter. And a good call by Unmitigated. Batting for the pitcher will be Don Demeter. Demeter hitting just 189 on the season, 2 home runs, 14 RBIs, trying to get his season untracked. Still. McNally into the windup, 6'4" righty, grounder shortstop X. That's Aparicio. 118. Here's the play on a 3. Diving stop by Aparicio to his feet. The throw in time, and it's a web gem by Aparicio. And Boston's down to their last out. And the batter is the second baseman, George Smith. There we go. McNally with the windup and the pitch. 3-11 lefty. Routine ground to first. Boog, race to the bag, and that's the ball game. McNally all the way for the win. The Orioles win it 7-2. And they've won the first 3 games of this 4-game series in Boston. I'm lacking on my filling in the pitchers here. I'll do McNally first. He's the winner. He's 7-3 now. A 4-hitter. Two runs. Three walks. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Wait, you gotta do that again. I think I missed one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 strikeouts for McNally. A fine game from Dave McNally. Staying in 6+, 2, 4, 6 hits. All 7 charged, 4 earned. Nope, sorry. 1 run charged to Bennett. For Stang, 6 runs, 3 earned. Walked 3, 4. Struck out 3, 4, 4. Bennett in his 3 innings, 3 hits and a run. No walks and 2 strikeouts. Stang is the loser. He drops to 1-3 on the season. Thank you, everybody. I'm leaning McNally player of the game. Anyone? Unmitigated likes that. Thank you, everybody. Totals, Baltimore with 7 runs, 9 hits, and an error. Boston, 2 runs, only 4 hits, and 3 big errors, 2 by George Scott. That's right, Ben, the rematch tomorrow. Whoops, I closed my... I must have shut my window down. I'll give you the starting pitchers on this one, then I'm going to get out of here. Toaster for McNally. The Chief Spokane Gary player of the game, none other than Dave McNally, a 4-hitter. Tomorrow's pitching matchup will be John Miller and Jose Santiago. Until then, wishing everyone a great evening. Thanks again for hanging out with me, and hopefully see you all tomorrow. Take care, everybody. Have a great night.